Kumbaya is Gullah, or come by here. Gullah is the language that's used in the Georgia Sea Islands and parts of South Carolina. And it's a mixture of African vocabulary, grammatical structure, pronunciation, etc. Um, and it's one of the reasons why if you're singing in a choir, um, a lot of arrangements of spirituals have a problem with words with TH because there was no TH in West African languages. And so it wrecks the rhythm of the song. And so if you hear people singing in Gullah, you won't hear a TH. And if you hear people who are singing spirituals from parts of the South where they're not glued to the score, or where they're singing, is part of the culture, you won't hear that.
Everybody is longing to sing, but nobody's invited them in for several generations. But then they were all in on it before. And now they think, well, somebody told them they couldn't sing, or they don't, that it's pitched too high, or the hymnal's too heavy, or they're light in the churches. There are a million excuses. And none of them are valid. This thing that happens over and over again in congregations that I'm leading, somebody will come up to me and say, oh, Mr. So-and-so was singing and he's never opened his mouth in church before. But I'm not asking him to sing, to stand up and sing a solo. I'm making a song so inviting he cannot bear to be left out of it. Oh,
So for me, a memorable moment when I did my song leading session was I introduced a piece called Go On Your Way in Joy that was introduced to me by Marilyn Haskell at the previous symposium here. And it's a fun number that has a few steps you do with it. You march in place and you cross your legs, or you cross a leg in front. And I decided that I would foist that upon my church community. And they kind of looked at me a little incredulously at first because we don't usually do any sort of choreography in our church music making. But they saw how fun it was and fell quickly into it. And just one of the best moments for me was looking down and seeing an older woman who cannot walk or stand unaided sitting in her seat but still doing the moves to that song, and that was really a highlight for me, just getting to see that. It was beautiful.
Well, our spring sing that we gave had about 45 people, and one of my memories is that we had folks from literally babyhood to age 90, which I really enjoyed seeing all the different generations enjoying the same pieces of music. And I remember at one point, one song ended, and all of the people clapped at the same time, which I remember had nothing to do with me. It was just a moment when it all came out of their hearts together without me having to prompt them.
In working with Fairfax County school teachers, one of the things that we realized that was a big revelation to all of us is the what ifs. What if we start people singing again? As elementary school teachers, as elementary school students, and they start learning all of these wonderful techniques as kids, and then they become middle schoolers, and then they become high schoolers. Just imagine what our communities would be like, and what our choirs would be like, and what our churches would be like when everybody is back together singing, and that we've brought this back as something that we need to do from such a very young age.
Well, one of our best moments at our community sing is the fact that we're bringing all levels of care at a retirement home together to all sing on different levels, but all singing the same music. And what brought joy to my heart and the hearts of others is the fact that people who have dementia or have loss of memory were able to recall these songs and join in and sing with everybody. And it brought a sense of warmth, love, and hope. So that was the best moment of our community sings.
In the weeks leading up to the community sing that I led, one of my colleagues reminded me on a regular basis that he's not someone who sings. He doesn't sing. He's a non-singer. And at the event itself, we started with a song that asked all the men to go hum, hum. And I looked right at him just by chance as we were singing and smiled at him. And sure enough, I saw him participating. And it might have been one of the first times he had been singing along in church in any way. So I don't know if that would have happened if I was leading from the organ or from the piano, but it was certainly a moment that I'll remember.
So one of the things that strikes me about music today is the fact that we put all of these artists up on a pedestal and we want to go see them, which really discounts the fact that we all have music inherently in us. So when I think about going into a community and leading people in song, it's about finding a way to connect with something they inherently know how to do, and just helping to pull it out of them. So I did an event last summer on Chebeague Island in Maine, and we had about 35 people come, and I didn't know any of them. I had a connection to that community, but we got there and we ended up singing together for 75 minutes, and I had no idea what to expect, but everyone said they wanted to do it again. So it was really wonderful to resonate with those folks and sing with them.
Hallelujah.